Hey guys, this is Aaron, and welcome back. Today we are at Spain for round number 5. It's season 16 of AOR, and I'm just going to jump right into the qualifying lap now. This is the third run and the third set of supers, pretty much using every set available for qualifying, and we're gonna see a Sauber come out of the pits, and he's going very slowly, and it's driven by Danny, and he's just gonna park it right on the racing line, not paying any attention whatsoever, and we have to take slight avoiding action. And honestly, that pissed me off because I felt like he had more room to leave the track instead of just taking up the AstroTurf where everyone uses coming out of that corner. I had to take a tighter line, scrub off more speed than I wanted to, and pretty much lost me time. So yeah, it wasn't like detrimental, but coming into sector 3 now, we see a McLaren driven by Jinxo just driving slowly, and it's apparent that he thinks he can beat me to the line. And so okay, we're carrying on, we have no choice really. And coming to the end of sector 3, he's just giving us dirty air, just driving so slow, and then the understeer right here has probably lost us at least half a tenth. And the run up to the finish line is not enough for him to, help us in any way whatsoever. So yeah, 16.8 is what we do for qualifying. In practice, I was doing 16.6s and 16.7s, and here come the results now. If I did a 16.7, would have jumped us up at least 4 positions, and a 16.6 would have put us in the top 5. So yeah, I was rightfully annoyed, pissed off really, because in 3 seasons of league racing I'd never really had this issue until this season. So yeah, I don't know what to say, and let's just go on to the race. Here come the lights now with 5 red lights, and off we go with Danny jumping the start, sailing right through the pack in the front, and there's some type of squabble and some carbon fiber flying, but we managed to avoid the carnage by taking some grass. And coming to turn 1, we've somehow made up a miraculous 3 positions, and FK Gaming behind us has also made up 3 positions, with him starting in P12 right behind us. And so we've gotten lucky, but there's definitely some people have gotten very unlucky, very unhappy people. So yeah, only for Win and Wessel going too wide into this hairpin here. We're also too wide with FK Gaming, so we're going to leave him some more room. But realistically, this is our position to keep. We're going to be on the racing line, taking the middle of the track and solidifying our position. Now, I feel like my pace in the rain is pretty good, especially at Spain. In Season 14, when the whole race was intermediate, I felt like I had the pace to get a podium, but somehow managed to get wing damage 2 times. So that was the only thing going through my mind right now, is like redemption. I just need to get a good result here, at least a podium. And even though it's the first lap following behind these guys, I felt like the pace was so slow. Like I felt like I could definitely go faster, like at least a tenth faster every sector. And over like a 33 lap race, that's like huge amounts of time, like 3/10 a lap. So we're going to defend a little from FK Gaming, be late on the brakes, about 100 meters, make the turn very nicely. Have only for Win and Wessel scrapping up in front, but yeah, things settle in, and coming into sector 2 straight into sector 3, we're going to shoot this long right-hander a little too much speed, and we're going to squeeze FK Gaming, but apparently he decided to switch back on us, and that caught me off guard. I was playing with some like ERS, and that was a really good move by FK Gaming. I did not expect that at all. I thought he was just going to stay behind me, but yeah, he caught me napping, going to lose a position, and I was pretty annoyed at myself for losing this position. I just really wanted to get in front of these guys. So cutting ahead 3 laps to lap 5, coming through Sector 3, and FK Gaming right ahead is going to go a little deep into the chicane. This prompts only for Win to try to go for the gap, but there's nothing there. But this allows us to have the position to make a move on him. So we throw into Rich and overtake and see if we can get alongside him and possibly make a move stick. So coming to turn 1 now. Brake a little early, but only to position our car so we don't run right into him. And Only for Win just completely closes the door. I don't really know what he was thinking, but my front wing was alongside his rear tires at all times. So I don't know if he thought I backed out of it. Maybe I shouldn't have broke so early, but you know, I was just being cautious. But no harm done, no wing damage, and he managed to keep his position. So coming on to this back straight now, we have FK Gaming ahead. He's going to make a move on Bull's Can, going too wide into the hairpin, then trying to go through Sector 3 too wide, but Bull's Can holds his position, but Only for Win has pushed wide by FK Gaming, and this allows us to take the position from them easy peasy. Didn't have to work very hard for that, and that is 8th position for us. So coming through the sector now, the last turn here, we're going to follow behind FK Gaming. We're going to try to see if we can get something done. Rich and overtake. We're a little far, but we see that they're fighting up ahead, and so FK Gaming's alongside. They're too wide into turn 1, and they're scrapping. They bump wheels a bit, and this has allowed us to just catch up, and we're going to try to hold it around the outside. We had to avoid FK Gaming and lift off just a little bit, but we're going to switch back out into the inside and see if we can make this position stick. Leaving him just enough room on the outside, being very, very respectful of each other. We touch wheels just a bit, but somehow I have more traction on the outside of that corner, and we're just going to throw into hot lap mode and take the racing line, and that is P7. That was that was very, very exciting. That was one of the most exciting things I've ever done in league racing in terms of overtake. Like, that was 2 overtakes in the span of half a lap. And that really like helped me build some respect towards FK Gaming, because he took me out in round number 1 at Australia before I even got to turn 1, and that left a really, really bitter taste towards him. So with that fair racing, he showed a lot of restraint. We had a good battle there that made me respect him a little more. So that was lap 8. That prompted him to come into the pits for a fresh pair of intermediates. But yeah, we're 3 laps later. We come in for our set, and I didn't realize that he pit so early until at this moment I see a yellow dot coming down the straight, and thinking, wow, this would be really, really close. Coming to turn 1, we barely hold it in front of him, and yeah, 5 meters back, he probably would have taken the position from us. But like I said, my race pace in the wet here is pretty good. After the battle with FK Gaming, this allowed Bull's Can to build like a 1.5 second gap, and I closed that 1.5 second gap in 2 laps, and I think that allowed me to deny the undercut from FK Gaming. So going right, going left, trying to break from slipstream from FK Gaming. We see Bull's Can in front of us coming out of the pits right away, and we're going to send it deep on the outside and somehow manage to hold it. He's still on our inside though, so we're going to leave him room. Still in overtake mode and trying our best to just really rock it out, and we have managed to keep the position, and now we have a virtual safety car. This was really annoying, to say the least. At this point of the race, I was really, really feeling the rhythm in the rain. I was like in the zone, had fresh tires. I felt like I was going to catch IDV-01 in front of us, who was like 1 second, maybe 1.5 seconds, and like we're gonna get this this overtake done. So virtual safety car doesn't last very long, and we are caught napping, and so Bullscan's gonna send it into the inside. I think there's some contact, gave him quite a bit of a squeeze, but we managed to keep the position. And the tires are a little cold, so forgive my driving here is a little sloppy. I'm gonna hit this curb by accident, but it's all good as we come through the chicane and onto the last turn. So on forward a few laps, then come lap 16. We're approaching sector 3, and there's a few yellow flags on track. Not exactly sure what has happened, but as we approach this corner here, we see a McLaren rejoining track as Jinxo once again, and we have got an illegal overtake. And God, that was so annoying. This game is so bad. And I had no one to blame but the game, but at the same time I was just so pissed off at Jinxo because he ruined my quali lap in the beginning of the session, and now he has come back to haunt me in the middle of the session, giving me a 5-second stop go. So yeah, I mean it's irrational, I know, but I was just so pissed off at Jinxo. So come lap 18, Jeff has come on the radio a few times saying there's a clear patch of weather coming on, and that it should be
no rain expected for the time being. Not sure whether dries or inters are faster. We're right on the crossover. The gap behind us is 3.3 seconds.
So as you can see, Jeff has just told us, there's pretty much a dry patch, and for the last 2 laps there's visibly no rain coming down, no droplets or anything. And it was becoming much easier to drive on the intermediate tire. It was just getting easier and easier. So lap 18, we saw IDV in front of us come in. I thought it was a little too early, so I waited one more lap. And here we are putting on our set of soft tires. And because of our penalty, FK Gaming, who was about 3.3 seconds behind us, has jumped us. And coming out of the pits now is at about a 2.8 second gap to FK Gaming. And coming down the straight now is IDV. And he is a good half a second, maybe 1 second behind us, but I don't know what happens to him. We kind of outpace him and leave him in the dust later on in the race. He just can't keep up whatsoever. I think he was just really struggling with the wet conditions. But the last 4 laps, we had the race winner Surdai. Congratulations to him. But the last 4 laps, only for win, caught us about 1.5 seconds, and I decided to step up my pace just a little bit. So he never got DRS. He never really got close enough to challenge. But yeah, crossing the line, FK Gaming he managed to extend his lead by 1.5 seconds out of the pits to the end of the finish line on us. So it wasn't really enough for him to have passed us, I think. If we didn't have that 5-second penalty, we could have easily kept him behind us. And 3rd position, a podium, would have been mine for sure. And yeah, I just got really fucked over by the game. So yeah, I mean, 12 points is still good. 15 would have been better. And yeah, if I managed to get this podium, I would have been keeping true to my own statistic. I think about 20% of the races I've started, I've gotten a podium. So yeah, not getting a podium here is pretty disappointing. But I feel with the upcoming tracks in the middle of the season, my pace will improve now that I've also been playing the game more. So we'll see. And with the championships table here, we are in 8th position, right behind our teammate Scotch Tape by 2 points. Could have had him in the Drivers' Championship by 1 point, but oh well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and have a good one.